Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hibiscus Sports Complex, the Pirate Ship, as we commence QBL Round 1 action in the men between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Southern District Spartans. As always, my name is Regan Baker and joined by the always fabulous John Guana. John, what a game we have here tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic matchup, really for two teams that expect to play finals basketball this season. So a very important matchup, even though it's the first game for both teams. Every game counts, obviously. This is a big local rivalry as well. It doesn't get much better than this when you're opening up the season against a local rival with two teams that expect to play finals basketball. I'm expecting nothing but a great game here this evening. Yeah, absolutely. And it's two very young teams as well compared to what we saw last year as well. I mean, I've got to say, just about every player on the court must be under the age of 30. So two very, very young teams. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. And there's going to be a lot of action above the rim as well. So we're going to have an amazing game on our hands here. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. And just before we get going on the opening tip, we got to give a shout out to the Pirates captain, Ryan Vines. This is actually his 150th QBL game for the Pirates. Just a great accomplishment. Shows you how much time and dedication he's really put in, not only to the game of basketball, but to the Pirates as well. So congratulations to the captain, Ryan Vines, on playing your 150th game tonight for the Southwest Metro Pirates. Yeah, absolutely. Another big shout out to the Pirates as well, with Troy Thompson returning to the Pirate Ship after several years away, living over in Canada. He had an amazing life over there as well, because I went and visited him probably about 4 years ago when I went on holidays. So, mate, it's great to have him back on the court as well for the Pirates. He was always a very, very strong force on the inside. Yeah, and he's actually going to get the start tonight. The Pirates are going to hit the court with Troy Thompson and Jared Barstow, along with Verl Williams Jr., Princeton Onwis, and the captain, Ryan Vines. Princeton Onwis is a guy I'm expecting big things from him this season. He played last year for the Brisbane Capital as an import, and he had a really good year. I think he can really take it up to another notch this season, playing for Mick Danner and the Southwest Metro Pirates, and they're going to rely on him heavily. He's not a big or a tall player per se, but he'll probably have to play up front for the Pirates. Athletically, he can play up front, and that shouldn't be a problem for him. But they're going to need him to score the ball and defend well if they want to make those finals. Yeah, exactly. And two very different teams, the Brisbane Capitals and Southwest as well. So it'll be really good to see how he fits in with the team as well, because Southwest probably plays a little bit more to his advantage as well. Realistically, Ryan Vines, the main ball dribbler, and Princeton Onwis are going to work really well together, and they're going to feed those inside players, but obviously they've both got such an amazing long bomb as well. So I think Princeton's going to fit in nicely. Yeah, and just while you mentioned that, I should say that Ryan Vines will actually probably be playing off the ball a little bit more this season. Expect to see Verl Williams Jr. handle the ball a lot more and man that point guard position. Spartans, though, also with a few new additions. They're going to start with the captain, Ben Volkman. Will Magnay, a Brisbane Bullets development player, going to start as well for the Spartans. Mitch Philp and Jared Eustace going to play in the backcourt along with their import, Deshaun King. I've yet to see the Spartans play in the preseason game. From everything that I've heard, Deshaun King is a really exciting talent in the import spot. I'm looking forward to him. The dude was throwing down some pretty savage windmill dunks in warm-up. So athletically, he'll certainly be a talent. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in. And in particular, I'm looking to see how Jared Eustace slots over. He's played in QBL before. He comes over from the Ipswich Force. He's a guard/forward. He could do a little bit of everything. I think he'll have a little bit more freedom and a little more responsibility this season for Spartans. I want to see how he plays, and I really expect big things from Magnay as well. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a really great game on our hands as we get started with Southwest winning the tip. As Jared Barstow goes straight inside to the bucket, dishing out with a nice little jump shot there, but no good for Onwas. And Phillips going to hand off to Eustace. I think we're going to see Eustace as a pseudo point forward position. Here's King guarded by Verl Williams Jr. Looking for someone inside. Instead finds Eustace now top of the key. We're under 10 on the shot clock. Handoff for Volkman, who lays it in. And that goes exactly what I'm talking about by Eustace. He can shoot the ball, he can put the ball on the floor, and he can create for others. He did the work. Volkman had the easy lay-in. Yeah, absolutely. Volkman playing a really strong position on the inside.
Vel Williams cuts across the baseline, dishing out. Vines almost looked like he was shooting, but just got held up in traffic as Troy Thompson straight off the bat with his own 2 points.
Nice bucket there by Thompson. Welcome back to the pirate ship, Troy. 2-all here, under a minute gone. Just over a minute, I should say. Here's Magne. That's a tough matchup for Thompson. He has his dribble stolen, though, by Onwis. Good help defense there from Princeton.
Vel Williams drives on the inside nice and strong, and he's fouled on the baseline cut.
Yeah, that was definitely on the body. Really like what Vel Williams Jr. brings to the table. Super talented young player, really quick. He's really improved his jump shot. He's improved his handle. I expect him to have a big year also.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw how far he'd come in 1 year alone during his season last year, so he's going to have an absolute blinder this year. He just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, unfortunately for Verl, he just got called for 5 seconds, so turnover there for Pirates. King's pass is tipped. He somehow recovers it, throws up the floater. It's too strong. Bairstow with the rebound.
Yeah, you've always got to watch out for those Vel Williams hand, whether it's senior or junior, either way. Their hands are everywhere. They will get into every single intercept lane.
Thompson left alone. That's a long 2. That's strong. Now Vine's going to guard King. And Bairstow gets the Magne matchup. Volkman spins baseline. I think they called the offensive foul. I think they're going to call Volkman for a hook.
Yeah, they've got the hook around on the baseline. I think it was Williams Jr. that received that. Just as Volkman spun around, just hooked him around and pushed him out of the way. Great defensive play there from Williams Jr.
So turnover there for Spartans. 2-all. Been a low-scoring affair to start. Vines has it stolen by Magne. And he steals it back. Yeah, he steals it right back from Magne. Good look inside. Nice hustle there from the captain. Volkman getting the tip. So Pirates have 17 seconds on the shot clock, and Verl Williams Jr. set to inbound.
Getting in a little bit quicker this time around with Ryan Vines, a nice little corner jumper.
Yeah, Vines banked it in from the baseline. That's not easy to do. Vines, of course, suiting up for his 150th game tonight for the Pirates.
Yeah, really going to want to show off on that anniversary as well, so he'll be firing from all over.
Magne is a left-hander, misses and then tips it nearly out of bounds.
Risky save there from Onwis, almost going out himself.
Bairstow hands off. Verl Williams floating jump shot is good. That's a good sign also. That's where Verl really needs to be. That mid kind of range floater jump shot is going to be a huge weapon for him. If he could hit that consistently, it really opens up that hesitation dribble, getting him to the rim. Volkman's pass tipped by Onwis. That's got to be his 3rd deflection already.
Yeah, Volkman's had a little bit of a rough start in terms of his passing. Williams Jr., though, already getting his hands all over. As Bairstow gets the push in the back on the offensive rebound.
Yeah, Bairstow looking to attack his own missed shot there. Goes over the back of Jared Eustace. Then Vine's going to take an early seat. Jake Allen checks in. He's the Pirates super sub. Jake Allen also a really versatile player. Could do a little bit of everything. He'll play the point guard position. He'll usually get a tough defensive assignment. He does have that against Philp. Just great activity to start here from the Pirates. Really a lot of deflections. You see, again, Verl Williams Jr. picking up another deflection. His 2nd or 3rd already.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be such a big force in this Southwest game. You know, he really does take after his father with those long arms. I mean, he's just everywhere. He's all over the court. He's going to be a big player for this team.
King working on the baseline. He wants to go in the post. Fadeaway jump shot for King is too strong. Magne tips it out, though, for Philp, and that's what Magne does. He is a fantastic rebounder. He's going to give you 2nd and 3rd chance opportunities. Eustace, deep 3 is short. Thompson gets the rebound.
4 minutes through the first quarter. Still only low scoring, 6-2, but as we saw in that women's game before, John, Low scoring does not mean good. Both teams playing an incredible game as Williams Jr. goes for the finger roll on the right-hand side.
There's a beautiful finger roll there from Verl Williams Jr., just taking what the defense gives him.
And then backing up with some strong defense there on the side as well. Just picking up the foul at the last minute as he reached in.
Yeah, Philp just got the shoulder past, the hips past him, and Verl Williams Jr. just rode him to the foul pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Williams Jr. did just about everything right until that last moment, but very smart offensive play as well to draw the foul.
Tyrell Harrison checks in. Volkman backing in against the big fella. He's blocked right away. Harrison gets a block, but then a turnover. Bad pass there. Bad outlet there from Allen to Verl Williams Jr. Eustace working against Allen. Now Magne back to Eustace. Puts his head down. His shot doesn't fall. Tipped around. Winds up back with Eustace.
Onwas almost got the intercept there. Working hard for it.
Eustace's three again is strong, and Bairstow has it. He's going to bust out. It's a 4-on-3. Bairstow goes right at Volkman. Lays it in. 10-2 here. Spartans need some kind of offensive spark. Philp going to fire a three that's short.
Williams Jr. from behind with the pick. Just stepped out of court on the rebound there. Unfortunate, but again, just going to show he's everywhere.
Coach Danner would be happy with the Pirates' defense at the moment. Spartans looking for some offense. There's King. He's going to fire a three. That's short. Bairstow comes down with it, hands off of Verl Williams Jr. Kicks ahead for Allen. Now Bairstow has it over to Onwas. He's going to fire a wing three. That's good for Princeton Onwas. The Pirates got it going on. They're up 12.
Yeah, starting to find some form after a slow start. In the last 2 minutes, they've put an extra 7 points on the board. Inside to Volkman now.
Philp working against Bairstow. Now Harrison tries to dump it in. Volkman and Philp, miscommunication there.
Yeah, Williams Jr. came out with it as he pulls up free as anything at the shoulder. Can't quite get it to fall.
Now King picks up his dribble early. Gets it back out to Philp. Philp going to call out the play. Spartans stuck on 2 points with 3:40 to go in the first quarter. Philp is stripped on his way up. Now Allen looking to attack Magne. Good contest, but a nice finish there from Jake Allen, and the Spartans going to take a timeout as they're down 13 with 3:30 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Spartans needing to recover, just having a bit of a rough start. Can't find the right shot. I mean, driving through traffic, Spartans are really coming up against a very, very strong Southwest defense. I can't see the statistics in front of me at the moment, but I think Southwest has to have at least 2 or 3 block shots or strips as a minimum as districts try and drive into the bucket.
Yeah, we should check with Paul right next to us to see how many deflections the Pirates have, because I'm sure they have a handful. But you're looking at the statistics here, and it's a good timeout for Spartans to take, as Southwest is 6 of 10 from the field. You look at the scoring, and it's a evenly distributed scoring sheet. Jake Allen, where is he at? Oh, sorry, they've redone live stats here. But you have 6 Pirates on the score sheet. Top scorer is Verl Williams Jr. with 4 points. And Spartans just can't find the bucket. They're 1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from three-point land. So they really do need to regroup.
Well, that's exactly it. Like you said, Southwest, they're just finding the back of the rim is the big thing. So districts have taken 10 shots, Southwest 11, but your difference in conversions is Southern districts have made 1 of 10, Southwest 7 from 11. I mean, they've just got the percentage, and that's what it comes down to. It's not that, you know, Southern districts aren't taking shots. It's just that they're driving through really tough Southwest defense, and they just can't find the rim.
Yeah, and they're turning the ball over. They've got 6 turnovers in the first 6.5 minutes of the game. That really is going to hurt you. And you see Coach Thompson going to go to the bench. See, checking in for the first time tonight, you've got Andre Ugrinich. He's going to give Will Magne a bit of a breather.
So Districts with it after their own timeout. Let's see if they come back and find a little bit of form, needing to get some points on the board.
There's 8 to go on the shot clock. Greenwich in a bit of trouble, finds Volkman. He's going to have to get the shot off, puts it up and banks it home. So the captain, Ben Volkman, ends the drought.
Yeah, but it wasn't for the sake of good defense from Southwest. I mean, they played up tight. Volkman taking the shot with only about 4 seconds left on the shot clock. As Tyrell Harrison turns it over on the spin.
And King really does a good job protecting his dribble and finishing. So 4 straight here quickly from Spartans. And then Onwis turns it over for Pirates.
Yeah, Southwest just losing the ball 2 plays in a row there. They need to protect the pill. I mean, a couple of silly mistakes there, and look at the difference it's made. It's gone from 15-2 to 15-6.
Philp is fouled there by Princeton. Onwis on his way to the basket. Substitutions. Thompson going to check in for Tyrell Harrison. He's going to match up with Andre Greenwich. Bit of wet on the floor as Philp took a bit of a slide along through the keyway. Philp loses it out of bounds. Another turnover for Spartans. Too much dribble there from Mitch Philp.
Yeah, just couldn't quite control it, just bouncing off his own foot.
So Jake Allen has it along now over to Vines. Vines now, you see Verl Williams off the court as Onwis slams it home, plus the foul. Volkman a bit late contesting, and he got the poster.
And that's the above rim action I was talking about, John. You got some big boys on the court, and that kind of pass is going to end in a dunk.
Magnate checks in for Volkman. Going to get a breather, but you see now Vines is on the court without Verl Williams Jr. He'll man the point guard spot. That's his second personal also on Volkman, so he's going to have a breather. Zonwis completes the three-point play. 12 points the lead here for Southwest. Eustace on the wing, gets in the paint, picks up his dribble, has to kick it out to Philp. There's 2 on the shot clock. He's got to put up a deep one. And then Vines leaks out, blocked from behind by King, but they're going to call a foul on Deshaun King. So Vines going to have an opportunity at the free throw line for 2 points.
Yeah, Vines just wanted to go and do a bit of crowd participation stuff. Ends up in the young kids down on the baseline there.
Lachlan Venus checks in for the first time, giving Bairstow a breather. And checking in for Spartans, Robert McCowan.
That was the 4th team foul for Districts as well, so they found themselves in a little bit of foul trouble early on. As Vines goes to the line and misses his first, unusual for him.
Yeah, Vines a typically reliable free throw shooter. Second one for Vines is off as well. So we both put the double hex on him.
It's that UCLA game we did together, Johnny, all over again.
It's a real thing. Magnate deep catch, kicks it out. McCowan's jump shot is off. Nice offensive rebound, though, by Greenwich.
Great save.
Philp skips it. McCowan now Greenwich driving baseline. He's fouled there by Onwis. And this is something that we saw from Princeton Onwis last season with the Capitals. Couldn't keep himself on the floor, picking up too many fouls.
No, and it's, as much as I hate saying, it's a rookie move, that one as well. I mean, if you're defending on a sideline or baseline, you've got to have 1 foot out of court. I mean, if you give them even 10 centimeters of gap on that sideline, if they try and fight their way around, you're going to pick up the foul every single time. You've got to have your foot over the sideline if you want to play D.
Good defense there. Allen strips Eustace, and then Eustace fouls him from behind.
I think the referee's going to come together, and this may end up being unsportsmanlike as well for the intentional stoppage of play. No, they've just gone with the regular foul.
That's going to put Spartans in the penalty. And I meant to mention Marty Leahy checks in for the first time for Pirates this evening. So Allen going to go to the free throw line. It was good defense there. Allen stepped in and stripped Eustace, and Eustace picks up the foul from behind.
The first free throw there from Allen is good for the one. Mick Downer just having a bit of a chat to the referees as well about that that passage of play and the reasoning why the foul wasn't unsportsmanlike. But look, at the end of the game, it worked out well for Pirates. They made the one free throw and then just got the 2 points straight after anyway.
Yeah, Cardinal sin of trying to save it underneath your own basket winds up with the Pirates. Philp going to fire a deep three. That's an air ball. Spartans looking for something to get themselves going here. They've got 6 points in the first quarter. We're already under a minute to go.
Yeah, Southwest really taking an early vantage point. 15 points up in the first quarter. And they're going to try and extend that lead here in the last couple of seconds.
Vines off the Venus screen. He's trapped. Allen open for three, though. Fires and hits. Everything going the Pirates' way here. They're up 18.
Yeah, great first quarter of basketball here from the Pirates. We're leading by 18 early on. Eustace turns around, tries to fire himself, but that's no good. The Pirates will pull it down. Shot clock exactly in line with game clock, so they'll hold it for the last shot of the quarter.
Yeah, there's about a 0.3 of a second differential, so Pirates should get the final one. Allen feeling it, fires another wing three that rattles home. He did it on one side, does it on the other. It's 21 points to the lead now. 4 seconds, Eustace has it, spins, flips one up, it doesn't fall. Thompson with the rebound, and Pirates going into the quarter time break up 21, 27-6. If you're a Pirates fan, you couldn't ask for a better start to the first quarter.
No, absolutely not, John, and especially not after the first 4 minutes of play. We're only 6-2. So when you think about it, the last 6 minutes of that quarter, Southwest has managed to put on 21 points. So what an amazing way to finish up that first quarter from the Pirates. And holding out the Southern District Spartans to only 6 points in a quarter as well. Southwest fans have to be happy with that.
Yeah, Spartans are going to have to find something here at the quarter time break to get themselves back into it. They've dug themselves quite the hole. It's 27-6 at the quarter time break. We'll take a quick one ourselves, and we'll come back with the second quarter of action here on QBL Basketball, presented to you by Panagos Productions.
And welcome back to the Pirate Ship as we bring you the second quarter of the QBL Round 1 matchup between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Southern District Spartans. An amazing first quarter of action. Southwest getting themselves in the lead by 21 points early on. Southern District's just not able to piece a passage of play together at the moment.
They couldn't really hold on to the ball. They've got 8 turnovers, only 3 of 17 from the field. Looking for someone to give them something. At the moment, Ben Volkman's got 4 points, Deshaun King with 2, and that's it for Spartans, but let's not take any credit away from Southwest. Doing a great job. They really couldn't miss. They hit on 11 of 15 shots for 73%, a perfect 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, led by Jake Allen's 11 points. He's 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from deep.
Yeah, Coach Down has got to be happy with the way the team's come out and started off the season as well. And, you know, we've got a pretty packed house here at the Pirate Ship as well. So I'm sure fans everywhere are incredibly happy as Southern Districts, again, just throw away the ball.
That's definitely not the start they wanted. A turnover on their first possession of the second quarter. Miscommunication from Greenwich and McCowan. Lockie Venus baseline jump shot is good. He can do that and do it well. Here's the trap. Leahy pressuring Philp.
Just everything going Southwest's way as Ryan Vines picks the pocket and gets the steal.
Another
driving
turnover.
Strong to the basket and gets the foul on the way up.
Yeah, again, a turnover from Spartans, and Vines doing a good job recognizing the defender on his hip, going right at him. He didn't get the shot to fall, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots. And I really like what the Pirates did coming out of that quarter-time break, setting up that half-court trap. They're not going to take this 21-point lead, now it's a 24-point lead for granted. They really want to put their stamp on it here to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, Southwest has nothing to lose. I mean, this is just, if things keep going the way they are at the moment, this is just going to become a training run for them. But at the same time, they need to push up. They need to run their sets, and they need to show the whole of QBL what they've got. You know, they don't want any team taking them for granted. They've got a lot of talent out on this floor, and they need everyone to know it.
Magne, nice strong hook shot, is too strong though. Out of bounds off the Pirates. I like what Spartans did there though, and Philp recognizing that Magne had a mismatch, and they go right to it.
On the inbound pass there, District's not really moving around at all, but drought being broken there with the long 3-bond from Philp.
Yeah, Philp can shoot the ball. He's been doing that in the QBL for a long time. You can leave him up, and he won't hesitate either. Vines pass deflected. They work it around the perimeter. It works into Leahy. They've got 7 on the shot clock. Lockie Venus, another baseline jumper is good. Venus, a player that the Pirates are really high on. He's going to see big minutes here for the Southwest Metro Pirates this season. And he made the move over from Caps last year. Magne going at the defense. That's Lockie Venus. Venus picks up the foul. Dylan Gray going to inbound the ball here for the Spartans. They trail by 23 points. Philp thought about the 3, gets the screen from Greenwich and floats one in.
Yeah, Philp really starting to find some form now for Southern Districts. He's just going to have to take charge. He's going to have to keep making those shots. I mean, he's got the confidence. He knows he can get them in. He's just going to have to keep driving at the Pirates and taking those jumpers.
Good aggressive play there from Lachlan Venus, drawing the foul on Magne. So Venus going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots. Couple subs. Quigley seeing his first minutes of the night, as it's Jared Eustace. And Verl Williams Jr. checks back in for Ryan Vines. Is Will Magne going to get a breather? Venus free throw is short. It's a 32-21 lead. Pretty high scoring start here for the Pirates.
Yeah, it definitely is. Only 2 minutes into the second quarter, and already Pirates racking up a 33-point total so far.
That's just a bad pass there from Philp. It slipped out of his hands. So again, a turnover here for Spartans. Got 8 minutes to go in the half. And Tyrell Harrison getting set to check in for the Pirates. Jake Allen driving baseline on Dylan Gray. Picks up his dribble. Hook shot is off. Eustace skips it over to Greenwich. Pulls up for a jumper. That's good. So Spartans finding a bit of offense here in the second half.
Yeah, starting to piece some plays together now, which is really good. I think the big thing that Southern Districts didn't do in the first quarter is they didn't really know what offense they were running. You know, they looked like that they were a team that were lost and they didn't know what they were doing. You know, but now they're starting to piece some offense together. They're starting to make the passes around the outside to look for the open play. So already they've more than doubled their first quarter score, and we're only 3 minutes in.
Yeah, definitely looking a little smoother for Spartans here to start the half. Harrison checks in. Tendakai Machando also checks in for the Pirates. That's his first minutes of the night. Here's a bit of a 1-2-2. Here's that half-court trap again. Philp finds Eustace. Verl Williams Jr. comes up with the steal.
Tried to look for the strong drive through. He just couldn't quite get there.
Marty Leahy fouled there by Andre Greenwich. So Leahy going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots. Verl Williams Jr. handed it off for Harrison on that one. I don't think Tyrell was expecting it at the top of the key.
No, I think it was expecting Williams Jr. just to do what Williams Jr. does best and just dance around the players on the defensive side and just make the layup himself. Harrison definitely looked a little bit shocked to receive it behind.
And Marty Leahy back in the QBL after a few seasons off. We last saw him suiting up in the QBL for the Ipswich Force. He hits them both. So it's 22 points to the lead here for Southwest. Spartans break the trap right up the middle. Machando hands off. Philp fires a three. That's just a bit off, and Tendikar comes up with it for Southwest. Harrison. Now Leahy out to Thompson, back inside. Harrison goes right at the defense. Gray going to get called for the block. That's just a really tough matchup for him, and a good job by the Pirates recognizing that Harrison had about 10 inches on Dylan Gray in the post.
Yeah, and I've got to give credit to Tyrell Harrison as well. I mean, when we saw him playing in the QBL for Southwest last year, like, he's tall, right? Like, there's no doubt about that, but he didn't look strong. You know, physically he looked a little bit lanky. He didn't have a lot of muscle on him. You put him into the Brisbane Bullets development squad for one season, and look at where he's come to now. He's got muscle on him. He's looking like a much stronger player, and there's evidence right there. He just went straight over the defending player and picked up the foul as well. So he's come a long way, and he's going to be a force to reckon with for Southwest this year.
Yeah, Verl Williams Jr. doing work, getting the offensive tip to roll in. 24 points the lead now for Pirates. Eustace backing in against Machando. Now out to Philp. They're going to get Machando for a little too physical defending the post. Spartan's going to send Ben Volkman and Will Magne back in for Quigley and Ugrinich. Got to give a shout out to Verl Williams Sr. He's always at the Pirate ship as Philp hits the corner three, cuts the lead to 21.
Yeah, I don't ever expect to see a day where Williams Sr. isn't in the Pirate ship. Whether it's playing, whether it's watching, whatever it is, he's always going to be around.
King aggressive, misses, gets his own rebound. He's blocked, but also fouled. Let's see who they give this foul to. Looks like that one's going to go on Tyrell Harrison. His first. It's the team's third team foul. And Deshaun King going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Onwis checks back in for Pirates for Marty Leahy. King hits the first one. Things have kind of cooled off a little bit. Pirates only at 66% from the field as opposed to 70+. Shots definitely still falling. Deshaun King hits them both. Spartans coming out with their own little press. Good cut. Onwis misses the dunk. Machando offensive rebound is missed. Tipped around and Volkman snares the rebound. Philp keeping the dribble alive, dumps it inside. It's stripped and stolen by Harrison. Kicks ahead for Verl Williams Jr., who lays it in. Too easy there for the Pirates.
I'm almost a little bit surprised that they didn't get Tyrell Harrison for the little bit of a shuffle of his feet there before the play started. But Williams Jr., I mean, come on, man, you can get that dunk. That extra 1 centimeter, and it would have been a big throwdown above the rim.
Eustace switching hands midair, hits the layup. That's a nice finish there from Jared Eustace.
Yeah, the Spartans really starting to find their form now. They're just finding the bottom of the rim as Bairstow rolls one home and the foul for 2.
And that's going to be the third personal there on Ben Volkman as well. Bairstow's eyes lit up as he attacked the paint. And Quigley is going to check in. Looks like it's going to be for the captain, Ben Volkman. (41-20) the lead for Southwest. And Bairstow completes the three-point play. So with 4:40 to go, it's a 22-point deficit for the Spartans. And another turnover as King, miscommunication with Eustace. Spartans so far have 13 turnovers in the first half. You usually want to keep it to about 2, maybe 3 a quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say 13 is what you would expect to see in an entire game, not necessarily in the first half of basketball.
Good block there from Magne. Venus recovers. Bairstow at the elbow will hit the jump shot. Everything working here for Southwest. They're up 24.
Eustace now from deep down in the corner for 3. He's hitting from all over the floor.
Yeah, that's a good. Deshaun King claiming that he was fouled, but he gets called for the personal. That's going to put Spartans in the penalty, and Machando will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Southern District's just finding them once again in foul trouble, so Southwest will walk the short distance to the free throw line for the 2.
That's King's third personal, so a bit of foul trouble also for Spartans. Ben Volkman on the bench with 3, and Deshaun King as well now with 3.
Machando just can't find the back of the net for either of his free throws. He goes none from 2. The Spartans pulling down the rebound, and Machando picking up a foul down the other end as well.
And that's going to put the Pirates in the penalty as well. I thought it was going to put them in the penalty. Machando going to take a breather with 2 personals.
Yeah, both teams finding themselves in a little bit of foul trouble this quarter. 4 minutes to go. Everything from now on will end up at the free throw line. Eustace goes strong through the keyway on the right-hand drive.
That's a good drive there by Eustace, not settling for the jump shot, putting the ball on the deck and finishing strong. Philp gets called for the reach-in. It's 2 more free throws for the Pirates. I think when Spartans go back and watch this first half, they're going to be looking, and there's a lot they need to do defensively to tidy up here. That's just lazy defense by Philp. So far away from the basket, you're in the penalty, and just reaching, just reaching out. When you look back, Coach Thompson's going to be fuming when he sees plays like that.
Yeah, look, it's definitely something they're going to need to work on, John. I mean, defensively speaking, Southwest, and again, like you said at the start of the quarter, not to take any credit away from Southwest because they are playing a great game of basketball, but a lot of the shots they've made have been way too easy. The defensive pressure from Southern Districts just hasn't been there. They're taking open shots, they've got easy offensive plays, and then on the other hand, the Spartans are just playing lazy defense, like you said, coming into foul trouble really early into both quarters just because they're not shuffling their feet, they're not getting in front.
Pirates have 8 on the shot clock. Onwis hands off for Venus. Long 2 is off the side of the rim.
And that was a perfect example of what I just said. I mean, Quigley very slow to get his hand in the face. It's easy shots like that are the reason Southwest is so far ahead.
Eustace hits a 3. He's really keeping the Spartans in it. They're down by 17 points at the moment. Onwis, good defense. He's blocked there by Magne. Bairstow hands off for Onwis, who lays it in. And a timeout called by the Spartans. So, Regan, let's keep it here, though, and look through some of the statistics. As the Pirates are up by 19, you look for Southwest, and it's a balanced attack. Jake Allen's got 11. Bairstow's got 7. Verl Williams Jr. with 6. Princeton Onwis has 8. The Pirates have 1, 2, 3. They've got 9 players that have scored at least 2 points so far in the game. and they're shooting at 60% from the field. And the thing that I like from Pirates, they've taken only 4 3-pointers, so they're being patient, taking what the defense gives them, not settling for the long threes.
And I think just as a whole as well, John, talking about the stat sheet, you look from Southwest's end, in terms of the plus-minus, their starting 5, everyone is in the positives. You know, you got Troy Thompson leading the way on 19 above. You got Williams Jr. on 9, Onwis, Vines on 8, and Bairstow on 7. But you jump down to the other end of the spectrum, the Southern Districts. 4 of their 5 starters are in negative double digits. I mean, it just goes to show how different these two teams are playing. I mean, Southwest is just such a balanced team. They're working well as a team as well. They're passing the ball around. They're looking for open opportunities. You know, Bairstow had a perfectly good shot himself, but dished out for the, even easier layup. They're just working as a team and as one unit. And that's the reason why they're getting themselves so far ahead.
And you look at the Spartans, they've got one player in double figures. That's Jared Eustace. He's got 10 points. He's 4 of 10 from the field. Other than that, Deshaun King's got 4. Phil Volkman's got 4. Greenwich and Phil both have 5. But you look at the Spartans and the stat that stands out to you, 14 turnovers, Regan. When you turn the ball over that much, you're just really shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, and they've almost got they're currently sitting 9 turnovers more than Southwest as well. They only have 5 in that category. I mean, that's telling. And unfortunately, I don't have the statistic in front of me, but I'd be very interested to see how many points Southwest has scored off those turnovers, because I can guarantee that's 10 points, easy.
Phil finds Gray, misses the layup though. Now Vines pushing it up court for Pirates, gets his feet in the paint, kicks it out to Venus, who shuffled his feet. That's a turnover. Trying to find that point of the turnovers for you.
I know it's there somewhere. I just didn't have time when I'm running the production panel.
Good cut.
Nice
Quigley kicks it out, and then Vine steals it, though, up ahead to Onwis.
Onwis going himself. Finger roll off the top for 2.
That's just too easy. Dylan Gray gave Onwis too much of a gap there. Onwis using his body and then floats it in. Lead back up to 21 now for Southwest. Quigley has it on the wing. Takes a dribble, finds Eustace at the free throw line. Jumper short. Vines goes inside. Venus against Quigley. Venus back-to-back turnovers for Southwest. Eustace pushing it. His pass tipped out of bounds by Vines.
And I found the stat I was looking for, Johnny. So in terms of points off turnovers, Southwest has made 16. So in a game like this where it's a 21-point lead and they've made 16 points off turnovers, we know straight away why Southwest is in front.
Yeah, Spartan's going to have to do something to maybe go with the old crazy glue on the hands at halftime or something.
Yeah, they're going to need to do something, because if they're going to make their way back into this game, it's 21 points that they've got to make up for, and they've also got to stop Southwest's aggressive offense.
Phillips' shot is the side of the backboard and hits the stanchion up top, so that's out of bounds. But I think Pirates doing a really good job. You see, anytime Magne gets the ball, he's double-teamed. They're sending 2, sometimes even 3 defenders. So obviously a key for the Pirates is shutting down Magne inside.
Williams Jr. out on the right-hand three-point line. That just bounced off the side of the rim. Not happy with that, though. He almost gets his steal back again. Ends up with Bairstow on the inside for a nice, easy 2.
And good hustle there by Will Magne, saving the ball from going out of bounds. But it just does lead to a Pirates basket, and that's just...
It's hustle.
It's hustle. Great hustle. He knew he wasn't going to... He knew he had to die for it, because if he didn't, Verl Williams Jr. was going to beat him there. But you love the hustle from a Bullets development, a Bullets player to lay out like that in the QBL. Real impressive there from Magne. Unfortunately, none of his teammates were there to save it.
And that's what you need to see, though. I mean, the rest of the team needs to take something from that. They all need to hustle. They need to be all over the ball, and they just need to be trying to find open passages of play to make the advantage.
Shout out to the assistant coach, Steve Catlin, there, wiping up the sweat, doing a little bit of everything for the Pirates. He was here setting up the camera record for the Pirates. He's on the bench coaching. Now look at him. He's got the towel out, wiping up the sweat, making sure the courts are safe for his and the opposition.
He's a man of many talents.
Super talented. 40 seconds to go here in the first half. 51-28 the lead for Pirates. Eustace finds Quigley. Out to Magne, now Philp. Layup attempt is good for Mitch Philp. So there's about a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Got to expect the Pirates to work as much time as they can off the clock.
Coach Vines just signaling to Williams Jr. just to slow things down and take their time on this one. They don't want to give Districts a chance to take their own shot, as Vines airballs a 3 from deep and ends up out of bounds.
Not a bad look there. The captain will be disappointed shooting the air ball.
It'll be 2.9 seconds on the game clock for Southern Districts to try and make something. But Williams Jr. once again finding his way into the play and just stopping that one from going anywhere.
Yeah, he had his eyes on the opposite rim there. He nearly came down with that steal. Gray inbounds it again.
He almost finds it again.
Phil flips it up. It's off. And heading into the halftime break, it's a commanding 21-point lead for Pirates, 51-30. If you're a Pirates fan, you couldn't ask for a much better performance out of your team.
No, you definitely couldn't. I mean, Southwest has played such a strong and aggressive first half of basketball. Whether it be offense or defense, they've just been making so many good decisions. And I think the biggest thing that I can compliment them on is that they're playing as a team. For game one in the QBL season, a lot of new players out on the team. We've had players come across from other clubs, but these guys are working together. And I think that's the biggest compliment I can give them, because that is the reason why they're so far in front at the moment. It all comes down to teamwork. It's
been a great first half for the Pirates. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some statistics and the second half of action as the Pirates lead the Spartans 51-30 here on your QBL presentation by Panagos Productions.
And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex for the second half action of the Southwest Metro Pirates taking on the Southern District Spartans. Williams Jr. giving the love to Johnny G over the side here. So first of all, let's just take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, just keep you up to date with what's going on around town. Mackay Meteors, they've got a commanding 12-point lead, 37-25 over the Logan Thunder. And heading up the Sunshine Coast, the USC Rip, 49, commandingly over the Seahawks on 34. But John, let's get back to here right now. Southwest 51-30 over the Southern District Spartans. Let's walk through the stats and what things are looking like.
It's been a really dominant performance in the first half by the Southwest Metro Pirates. You look at the halftime statistics and you can see exactly why. Pirates are shooting 58% from the field. They've hit 17 of 28 shots, 3 of 6 from 3. They're out rebounding Spartans 21-18. They've got 11 assists on their 17 makes, and they're doing it inside as well. They've got 26 points inside the paint. They've got production from the bench. They got 10 points off the bench as well. It's a really fantastic performance. I'm looking at my stats. They have Jared Bairstow with 19 points. That can't be right, because there's no way Jared Bairstow put in 19 points in that first half.
No, it's got him as 8 of 8 from the free throw from field, so I definitely don't think that's right.
Yeah, I think somehow, some way, some of Jake Allen's points wound up with Jared Bairstow, because Allen at one point had 10 points. He's having a great game, but nonetheless, it's a really well-balanced Pirates attack. You've seen pretty much everyone who's seen the court has scored outside of Tendakai Machando for the Pirates. So Pirates just dominating things. It's got to be a tale of two halves here for Spartans if they want to get back. And I'd like to see them start a little bit better in this second half. I think the first few possessions, both offensively and defensively, is going to say a lot to see from the Spartans to see what they have, if they're either going to make a comeback or they're just going to collapse.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Southwest has a couple of decisions to make as well. I mean, with a 21-point lead, do they keep pushing it 100% when they've got another tough competition tomorrow against Cairns? Or do they just keep pumping and pushing and absolutely dominate in this game, but then risk losing their legs for tomorrow? I mean, realistically, things could go either way, but I predict Southwest to probably maintain a 20-point lead until the end of this game, but it's all going to depend on what Southern Districts comes out with. If they come out firing, Southwest isn't going to have a choice but to pick up their game again as well.
Well, Regan, I'll guarantee you that the Pirates aren't going to slow things down. Because there's a full half of action to play. And that's just not how Coach Downer coaches the game and how his team plays the game. They're going to look to put their stamp on this one, though. They'll want to extend this 21-point lead out even further, as right away we see Onwis getting inside, and he's fouled by Eustace. And just a really nice set run there by the Pirates to open up the half.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eustace is feeling a little bit frustrated now as well. I saw him having a good chat to Alex McEwen as well before the quarter started, just asking about a couple little foul situations and why things are getting called the way they are. So he's a little bit frustrated with how things are going as well, and it doesn't help that 11 seconds in he's picked up a foul as well.
Yeah, well, you know, he and the Spartans really can't worry too much about the referees. They need to look at themselves and really put it on themselves to make this comeback. It's not going to be anything that the referees do or don't do that's going to get them back into this game. As Onwis hits the free throw. See a lot of familiar QBL faces out there in the crowd. See Willie Shackelford. This is the first time we haven't seen him in the QBL for a while. I didn't see him on a playing roster in 2018. He's had a great career here in the QBL. Big fan favorite. Also saw Capitals head coach Jeff Tarrant in the crowd. He loves his hoops. No doubt be scouting both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a shame to see Shaq not playing again in the QBL 2018 season. He was always one of my favorite players to referee, you know, back in my younger days as well.
Magnate throws it down hardcore with two hands there. That was good ball movement. A lot better there from the Spartans on their first offensive possession of the second half.
Yeah, straight out of the bat. Much better ball movement through the fingers of their team.
And they come out with a bit of a 1-2-2 zone here as well. Thompson hands off Bairstow, blocked by Magnate. Inside now, Volkman working against Troy Thompson. Takes a few bumps, goes to his left. Can't finish with the right hand, though.
Yeah, great strong D there from Thompson. Didn't put a foot out of place as Onwis now pulls up on the three-point line, but gets nothing but air.
That was way off. You can see as soon as it left his hands, it was going nowhere. Skip to Philp. Thought about a three, goes inside. Magne, though, lost it on the way up, slips right out of his hands. He's not happy with himself. That's just a lost opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just reflective of what happened in the first half as well. Southern District's really struggling with the turnovers.
And it's a new ball. We got to mention that it's a new ball. So I know both teams played a few preseason games with it, but still would be taking some getting used to. As Thompson travels.
It's a good-looking ball, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, compared to the standard, singular color ball, I mean, I like it.
Oh, yeah, it looks good, but we saw it also in the women's game. A couple of players had problems catching it and holding on to it. I just wonder if it is a bit slippery.
Yeah, I mean, all that gold writing and marking all over it may cause a little bit of that additional slip as well. As Eustace goes hard on the inside, but unfortunately gets his points waved away, but they'll maintain the ball on the baseline from the foul.
Yeah, I like what Magne did there. He spun baseline, saw the double team coming, and found Eustace cut into the basket. Eustace was fouled there by Vines. Philp skips it, nearly had it stolen. Behind the back pass, Volkman reverse layup is good. Now, nice ball reversal to an attack and then a kick to Volkman.
Yeah, it's good to see Volkman getting some points on the board again as well. He scored 4 very early on in the first. This is the first time he scored since then. He's only sitting on 6, so I expect to see a lot out of him this quarter as well.
Vines turns it over. They kick ahead. King finds Volkman. Layup is good. So nice transition there from the Spartans. And they're starting to chip away here. It's down to 16, the lead.
Yeah, they're coming out really well so far in the start of this third quarter. As we see Onwas just float one, bouncing off the side of the rim. Districts again, almost with a fast break opportunity, but Eustace is going to pull up on the 3, and he drains it. And Southern Districts cutting a 21-point lead down to 13.
And Coach Downer forced to take a timeout. It's a good timeout as well. And the Spartans, let's give credit where credit's due. They come out in the second half, throwing a zone at the Pirates. Pirates really confused trying to attack that zone, and then just getting hurt in transition. Spartans getting the stops, kicking it up ahead, and looking aggressively to score the ball. And just doing a really masterful job. And I guarantee you, the two things Coach Downer is going to go through: transition defense as well as attacking that zone offense. 52-39, 7:03 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, so Southwest really going to have to try and work something out here in the third quarter. I mean, 3 minutes in, they've already managed to drop 7 points to Southern Districts. So they're going to need to come out. They're just going to have to play the way they played that first half. A couple of little silly errors early on, and Southern Districts are capitalizing. Like, I'm sure that, they would have had a bit of a hammering from Coach Thompson at the halftime break. And look, to their credit, they've reacted. They've come out and they've played nothing but a strong third quarter here. Yep. And if they keep playing this way and Southwest doesn't adjust the way they're playing, I mean, they could come out in single digits down by the end of the third. So anything could happen here. I
think that'll be the goal, is to cut back this lead as far as they can. One thing also hurting the Pirates, not only just the zone, but a couple of turnovers as well. They've got 3 to start in the third quarter. And there's another one right off the bat. Deshaun Kings, though, can't catch the pass, and Verl Williams comes up with his own steal. Kicks it to the captain, Ryan Vines. His three-point attempt is short.
Onwas, though, getting in there, picks out the board. Kicks out to Williams Jr. Troy Thompson for 3, and he nails it home.
And that one really hurt the Spartans there, because they forced the turnover, and they had an opportunity to cut the lead even further. They turn it right back, and then Pirates hit a 3. That's those things that kill you, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, though, this is the way that Southwest needed to adjust. They need to capitalize on their opportunities and not let Districts get this away from them, as we see Onwas just not quite adjusting and getting his feet in front to pick up the block. Great offensive play there for Districts, though.
And that's Princeton Onwus's third personal foul. It's the second team foul for the Pirates here in the third quarter. Eustace, though, did a really good job attacking the defense. He had Onwus on his hip. I don't know why Onwus even tried to pick up the charge there. He just had to.
He needed to step away.
Step away.
With 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, picking up your third foul is not a good position to be in. He can't give any away now. He's going to have to step back and play a little bit, off defense. So, it's one of those situations, as we were talking about in the women's game earlier on, Johnny, for anyone that was listening. Block shot situations like that, you need to be able to assess. If you're not going to get in front, you need to get out of the way. Otherwise, you're going to pick up that blocking foul, as we just saw. Yeah,
and, as we mentioned earlier as well, Onwus last season was quite foul prone. So I'm sure, he'd be somewhat conscious of it as well.
Nice fast break play there from Southwest, but Jared Bairstow's jumper on the inside is swatted away strong by Magne.
Yeah, Magne with his second big block of the half.
Volkman kicks out to Philp at the top. Tries to dish inside, but Williams Jr. again with the sneaky hands. He drives strong on the inside and rolls one home for two.
Good use of the body there. Verl Williams Jr. letting Eustace know about it as well.
Yeah, Southwest crowd really getting into things now as well as they take off again. Lead extended back out to 18.
Good easy layup there from Magne, spinning baseline. There was no help defense there. And then a miscommunication for Verl Williams Jr. to Ryan Vines. Another turnover. So the action really picking up here in the second half with 5:30 to go. 57-41 the lead for Southwest over the Spartans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this third quarter, it's like a whole new ball game, John. I mean, neither team is playing the way that they played in the first half. It's completely changed up. So who knows what's going to happen, to be honest. Anything could go on as Eustace kicks out.
King had it stripped. He gets it outside. Eustace going to fire the three. Air ball. Volkman, though, grabs it and puts it in. 14 points, the deficit now for Spartans. Verl tried to float one in over Magne. He missed. Pirates wind up with it again, though. Onwus wide open for three. His shot is short. Magne may have got a piece of it. Volkman's pass is tipped. Magne gets it. Layup is no good. But he's fouled, and that one's going to go on Onwus as well. That's going to be his fourth.
Yeah, that's a big foul for Onwus to pick up. And again, it's the same as what we said about his last one. Why did he have to get in front of that? He was asking for trouble. That was never going to be anything but a blocking foul on him. And that's a bad position for Southwest to be in. Princeton Onwus on 4 fouls, getting subbed out with 4 minutes to go in the third.
So we might not see Onwus for a little while. Marty Leahy gets the first crack on the court, and Ty Harrison as well. Checks in for Troy Thompson. Magne really, his play is picking up the energy just overall from Spartans. The fight, the energy, the defensive intensity really stepping up. It's a noticeable difference here. And you see it on the court and in their performance. They've cut a 21-point deficit to 13 with 4:47 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, like I said, John, it really is anyone's game at the moment because both teams have come out playing a completely different game of basketball compared to what they did in the first half. Southwest has slipped off a little bit. They're just not playing with the same intensity that they did in the first, whereas Districts has stepped it up to 110. I mean, they're a completely different team now. They're passing the ball. It's touching multiple sets of hands before they take the shot. They're playing strong defense. I mean, they're like a whole new team.
Magne hit both of them, so the deficit is now 12. They're looking inside for Bairstow. It's not there. Vines spins away from the trap, kicks it out. Leahy's going to fire a wing three. That's good. They're going to say it's two. It's hard to see. We're quite low on the sideline here, but that was a two-pointer.
Either way, very, very good shot there from Leahy on the fadeaway as well. As King now goes behind the back and dishes out to Eustace. He goes strong inside with the finger roll and sinks it home.
Yeah, that's just a nice adjustment midair there from Eustace to get the bucket. As the team's trading hoops at the moment.
Nice little dish out there from Williams Jr. to Tyrell Harrison. He can't sink the three. Philp comes down with the board, looks to pass up ahead. Just it's not quite open for him.
Philp goes to the wing, goes inside now for Volkman. Out to Philp. He drives, kicks it out, but it's a turnover.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate turnover for Southern Districts as well, because Southwest's defense just collapsed. Philp drove through essentially 3 players, fairly uncontested as they didn't make the move. You know, his pass, if it had made it out to the wing, that would have been a wide open shot. So very unfortunate for Districts.
Quigley checks in for Volkman and the Spartans. Allen back on the court for Southwest. Allen on the wing now. Uses the left hand. There's 6 on the shot clock. Harrison has to get it off. Flips it up. Magne grabs the defensive rebound and kicks ahead to Philp. Spartans can cut it to 10 or single digits with a 3-pointer. Eustace again gets to the rim, misses this time. Strips it though from Allen and returns possession to the Spartans. Deep 3 for Eustace. And Harrison corrals the rebound.
Yeah, Southwest really need to make something of this play here, otherwise they're going to find themselves in a fair amount of trouble in the dying moments of this third quarter. Bairstow kicks out to the wing. 3-point shot, no good though, as Vines can't quite get his hands on the board.
Good activity though from the Pirates to keep it alive. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bairstow dumps it off for the captain, who's fouled. Again, that one's going to go on Jared Eustace. I think that's it. That might be his it's either his 3rd or his 4th.
That'll be his 3rd.
So Greenwich going to check in for Eustace, and Troy Thompson going to check back in for the Pirates. Give Jared Bairstow a breather.
Yeah, I must say as well, Southern District's playing a much better defensive game this quarter. You know, the first 2 quarters of this game, they've found themselves in foul trouble relatively early on. We've got 2 minutes to go in the third here, and they're only on 2 in that category so far. So they've definitely stepped it up, and they're playing a much better defensive game, and they're not making the same silly mistakes.
Yeah, I think Will Magne has really imposed his presence on the defensive end much better here in the second half. He's got 2 blocks. We've seen him strongly contest a couple of shots just on that possession there. So he's really making his presence known on the defensive end. And I know he can make an impact every night on that end. I think they need him to get him going offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just such a strong, influential player. As we just see Tyrell Harrison with a nice little steal there for Southwest. But as I was saying, Magne is such an influential player, and they need to see him performing a little bit more offensively as well. But on the defensive end, he's playing such a strong game and really helping raise the district's performance.
Another offensive rebound there from Jake Allen. He's fouled on his way back up. So he's going to go to line for a couple shots. Machando checks back in for Vines. Take a look at the offensive rebound statistics for the Pirates. They've got 8 offensive rebounds so far tonight. Jake Allen, believe it or not, has 3 of them. Excuse me, I looked at the wrong one. No, he's got 2 of them. Goes 1 of 2 from the line, does Allen. Lead is 13. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
So lead back out to 13 now for Southwest. Just under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter as Philp step backs for the 3. He brings it down to a 10-point lead. Southern District's really starting to make their move here in the third.
Yeah, it's an 11-point swing so far for Districts in this quarter. Harrison's hook shot is short. It's tipped around. Somehow Allen again comes up with it. Hands off for Harrison. And Machando comes out with it. Allen with 3 on the shot clock. Not sure what they're calling here.
That'll 100% be a charge. Quigley getting himself nicely positioned in the keyway. Both feet outside the no-charge semicircle. Jake Allen trying to force his way through the center of the keyway, but just ending up with the charge. And then he's going to back it up with a technical foul. Sorry, that's going to go on the Southern District's bench.
Yeah, that goes on the on the district's bench. You can see Coach Thompson, he hasn't been happy with a lot of the calls the referees have made so far this second half. Obviously said something the referees didn't like.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, like I understand the frustration, and like even as a referee myself, I've always understood that frustration. But in situations like that, you're not doing yourself any favors. It was Southern District's ball. Southwest got the charge. It was their ball on the baseline, and now by just having that little extra unnecessary quip, we now have a Southwest free throw and possession from halfway. You've just done yourself
you just
no
killed
favors.
all your team's momentum. Really, really bad technical foul there. They've done such a great job here in the third quarter to cut the deficit to 10. You have momentum. Huge, big defensive stop there off the charge. I'm going to mark that down because I think that's a turning point for the districts here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 10 points. If Southern Districts had have had the ball, they could have got it down to 8, maybe 7 points the difference here. I mean, the one thing going in Thompson's favor at the moment is Southwest couldn't capitalize on either opportunity. They missed a free throw and then missed the jump shot as well. So fingers crossed it doesn't make that big of a difference for them.
King loses it on the way up, but they're going to get possibly Harrison for the foul there. Now they're going to give it to Jake Allen. Deshaun King going to go to the free throw line. He's been pretty quiet so far tonight, King. He's only got 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting. He has contributed 3 rebounds and a couple steals, though, as well.
As well, King lines up for his 2 free throws. Just going to shout out big thank you to Coach Van Dongen watching somewhere. I can see you trying to post messages to me, but they're not coming through. So whatever you're trying to say to me, V-Dog, it might be best to message John. But always a pleasure to have you watching, V-Dog.
King goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. There's about 35 seconds to go. King drives baseline. He's blocked by Harrison.
Down to under 30 seconds to go. Southwest moving nice and quick on the inside. Almost turned it over. Jake Allen able to retain it. Nice no-look pass inside to Thompson for 2.
Yeah, it's just great vision there from Verl Williams Jr. And Terrell Harrison getting called for the foul there on Mitch Philp. Pirates are in the penalty. So Philp going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots.
So we walk all the way down the other end of the court. King going to line up. No, sorry. It'll be Philp lining up for 2. 15 seconds to go on the clock.
Philp hits the first one. .4 seconds to go here. Not sure, wiping out up a bit of wet on the other end of the court. So that's the slight delay there by the referees. Second one good as well. So the lead is cut to single digits, 62-53. Pirates are going to hold, or try to hold, for the final shot of the quarter.
Yeah, so 11 points the difference. Southwest with the possibility of extending that out a little bit more with 4 seconds to go. Jake Allen spins left, running through traffic. Manages to float one away, but can't quite find the bottom of the net as we go into three-quarter time.
Yeah, a lot of contact there. Referees choosing to let it go, but great third quarter run there by the Spartans, down 21 to start the half. They've cut it down to 9. It's 62-53 heading into the fourth. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final quarter of action here on your QBL basketball presentation by Panagos Productions.
And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex as we bring you the fourth quarter action of the Southwest Metro Pirates taking on the Southern District Spartans. And what a third quarter of action it was. Southwest going into it up 21, now only up by 9. Southern District's making a huge comeback and putting 12 points on over Southwest. Just found out as well. Just for those of you interested watching the women's games, Ipswich Force did end up winning out by 7 points over Cairns. Unfortunately, their live stat's not working, so giving you the update about that one. We'll try and keep you in the loop with the men's game as well. But bringing it back here to the Pirate Ship, 9 points the difference, 53-62. Southwest currently in the lead. But we got 10 more big minutes of basketball to go, so it's anyone's game at the moment. That third quarter, a very, very different game to the entire first half. Southern Districts to kick things off as well as King has it. Quigley makes a strong right-hand drive down to the bucket, and he's fouled on his way through.
Yeah, Quigley has really brought the energy out there on the court, as he always does. He's had a couple of really nice defensive plays. He's also doing a good job on the glass for them on the offensive and defensive end. Really strong rip move, went right past Thompson, picked up the foul, and he'll have an opportunity at the line.
Quigley just finds the front of the rim for the first. The second one finds its way to the back of the net. He brings the lead down to 8.
Yeah, the hot shooting of the Pirates has certainly slowed way down, and King gets a steal. This is going to be some excitement. Puts it down with two hands. Cuts the lead to 6. Thompson steps into a pump fake. Bairstow looking to work on the block against Volkman. Kicks it out now for Thompson. Out to Williams Jr. with 4 on the shot clock. He's going to have to get a shot off. Flips one up. It's no good, but he's fouled. That's a really good play there by Verl Williams Jr. A lot of times players will settle for that jump shot. He knew he had the time. He used that nice hesitation dribble to give himself a bit of space, step through and picks up the foul.
He's just got such a smart knowledge of basketball as well. He was aware of the shot clock. He knew he was short on time. And there is nothing better than with 0.6 seconds left on the shot clock to draw that foul and end up on the free throw line.
7 points the lead now, 63-56 for the Pirates over the Spartans. It's been a great comeback here from Southern Districts.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope I didn't jinx things too early in the women's game when I said Southwest has struggled with a second half of basketball in the past. As we see King pull up for a long 3, almost tipped back in by Volkman.
Vines kicks ahead for Verl Williams Jr. Keeps his dribble alive and kicks it out for Bairstow. Now the captain has it. Vines, a little Euro step. He's fouled from behind.
And really good to see that Southwest isn't scared by the fact that their lead's been cut down by 7. I mean, Bairstow had a wide open 3 at the top, kicked it over to Vines, also had a wide open 3, but instead they decided to settle for the much better option, which is driving inside. And now we see Vines at the line for 2. Hasn't been shooting great from the free throw line, but it's a much better option than taking those long 3s.
Yeah, foul was on Dylan Gray, his 3rd. As Vines hits the first one. Hits them both. The captain in his 150th QBL game for the Southwest Metro Pirates. Those are his 6th points of the night.
Yeah, and he's going 4 from 8 from the free throw line as well, so only sitting at 50%, but he's hitting them when it counts.
King off the screen, finds a wide open to Greenwich for the 3. Misses, and Vines tips it. Williams Jr. running the show now for Southwest.
Jake Allen, nice little fake as he drives inside. Left-hand shot from inside for 2.
Love the old little Euro step. Jake Allen loves using that move.
It's a great hesitation on the 3 as well. Just put the Spartans' defensive player slightly off guard and allowed Allen to go around for that easy drive on the inside.
Dylan Gray flips up a wild one. Volkman gets the rebound, flips it up and in. Nice play there by Ben Volkman. Verl Williams Jr., a lot of contact. He regathers, drives baseline again, tries to throw it out of bounds off of Quigley. Allen recovers with 6 on the shot clock. Bank shot is missed by Williams Jr. Bairstow steals it from Volkman, though, and banks that one home. Pretty sloppy kind of passage of play there.
Yeah, very strong, very well fought on both teams as well. Everyone just surrounding the ball, trying to rip it out. Both teams playing some very, very aggressive basketball.
Greenwich going to fire a long two. He swishes that one. 9 points. Again, the lead for Southwest. Verl Williams Jr. fires a three that's short. Tipped by Quigley over to King. The Greenwich getting a bit out of control, flips it up and can't finish. Back to the man-to-man here for the Spartans after the successful third quarter zone as Vines loses it out of bounds.
I think both teams are just starting to feel the pressure a little bit now, as we've seen, 3 or 4 passages of play in a row where things have been a little bit rushed. They just haven't been as clean as what they were in the end of that third quarter and the start of this fourth. I think both teams just need to settle down a little bit, Vines there, a silly little turnover, losing control. In the previous passage of play as well with that, left-hand finger roll for Districts as well. Just need to settle it down. They just need to go back to the way they were playing in that third.
Want to give a shout out to the Spartans bench. They gave them some really great minutes on this run. Quigley, Greenwich, and Gray just checked back out. So well done to those guys on some really, really good minutes. Really brought the energy. Let's hope that the guys that checked back in can maintain that level of defensive intensity in Magnay, Eustis, and Philp.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point as well, coming off the bench as well, Dan Quigley's been having a lot of impact for the Southern District Spartans. He's probably one of the only players that's been running at a 0 ± score for the team. A lot of other players from Spartans in the negatives. So he's coming off the bench, but he's playing a very important role, and he's been doing an amazing job as well. So big shout out to him off the bench.
King can't hit. Pirates looking to get the lead back up to double figures now. Pass though stolen. Pirates have gotten a bit sloppy here. Philp regathers, and then is fouled from behind by Vines. Push on the hip.
Yeah, Vines looking a little bit shocked by that one, but that was a pretty blatant hand in the back on the drive through. Lead still sitting out at 9. It's been around that since the start of the quarter, so Southern Districts really can't afford to keep this back and forth motion going on. They really need to get some important stops and then put some points on the board as well.
Philp hits them both, so cuts the lead to 7. Could feel the energy kind of been sapped out of this crowd. Spartans really setting the tone here.
Yeah, everyone's sitting on the edge of their seats from Southwest, I'm sure. Very important stop passage of play there for Spartans. Southwest not able to convert. Coming down the other end, Magnay just going for the layup, but big hands in his face from Leahy.
And Leahy stripped him on his way up. Harrison now over to Bairstow. Bairstow flips one up. It's off. Magnay comes down with it.
Yeah, Southwest just not playing a controlled game of basketball at the moment. Volkman spins. He also can't convert either. Both teams struggling to get the ball in the net at the minute.
And trying to do a bit too much there, I thought, Ben Volkman. He was in a really bad position. Probably should have just kept it down and waited for a teammate to open up. As Leahy goes inside, back to Leahy from Harrison. That's a 3-second call there on. Probably could have got it on either Harrison or Leahy.
Yeah, it didn't really matter either way. They were both camping in there, that's for sure. Well, timeout called on the floor, so we'll take a bit of a break as well. It is 69-62. Sorry, the scoreboard in the stadium just got adjusted. 69-62. Southwest still just in the lead, but we'll take a break and we'll be right back with more live action shortly. And we're back here at Hibiscus Sports Complex as we continue to bring you the live QBL Round 1 action between Southwest Metro and Southern Districts. Southwest, really, it is their game to lose at the moment. They came from a huge 21-point lead at halftime, 51-20. Southern Districts doing everything right in this second half, bringing it back down to only 7 points at 69-62. Only 4.5 minutes to go in this game. Southwest really needs to find some energy to maintain this lead. But they're going to struggle if Southern Districts keeps playing the way they're playing. King driving right over the top of Onwas. He's blocked. Bairstow coming down with the all-important board. King pulling up the foul there. Really could have gone on either Phillip or King. Bairstow just bouncing between players like a pinball. And a very big foul there for Southwest as well. That's King's fourth, so he'll have to play a bit of a hesitant defensive game here. Bairstow inside, finds a cutting Harrison who goes for the two-handed slam. What an offensive passage of play for Southwest.
Just a great look there from Bairstow and an even better finish from Harrison. It wasn't really up at the rim. He just brought it from below and slammed it home.
Yeah, very important points there for Southwest as well to let them breathe a tiny bit easier after a couple of passages of play of unsuccessful baskets as King goes strong, but he's stripped and the 24-second shot clock runs out. Things are going well for Southwest at the moment.
Yeah, I think King just didn't realize that there was 2 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Southwest really pushing things down fast as Harrison goes for another two-handed slam.
There's a huge follow there from Harrison off of a great Will Magne block of Marty Leahy. Good dump inside. Magne puts his own down with two hands. Nice creativity there from Philp.
Yeah, it's exchange of the slams at the moment down each end of the court as Leahy drives baseline and picks up the foul.
Yeah, the pace and the energy from the Pirates off of that timeout has really picked up. Lead goes back up to 9, and Leahy's going to go to line for a couple of shots.
I think it's going to be baseline. It was cutting through. I think Leahy
I just saw him walking to the line. I thought, all right, he's going to have two.
It's a very smart tactic from players. They always do it. If they think if they stand at the line, they're going to trick the referees into giving them shots. It doesn't often pay out that way. Ooh, risky pass over the top there. Harrison just managing to get his hands on it.
Burl Williams Jr. kicks it out. Onwas gets to the rim. Good challenge there by Magne.
Ball ends up in the hands of King as he drives strong over the top of Leahy. Finger roll can't quite go home.
Yeah, I really thought Deshaun King traveled. He did an in and out dribble, but then brought it back. I don't know how he did that one. That was pretty impressive.
Onwas now on the wing, finds Jared Bairstow on the inside, rolls right for two.
That was a great finish there by Bairstow, using his body to create some space for himself.
Great defense from Williams Jr. King just not able to find any luck on the inside.
Yeah, he's really frustrated. He felt like he was fouled on that side, and then Burl Williams Jr. makes him pay on the other. Gets the stop on one end and then hits the three on the other.
Southwest really finding some form when it really, really mattered. They were struggling pretty hard there for a while in the fourth, down to I think as little as 7 points in the lead, maybe 5, but now getting themselves back out to a healthy 14-point lead.
Yeah, they weathered the storm really well. They never let themselves get down on themselves, I guess, is the term I was looking for. But really just the energy and the push, the way that they're being aggressive on the offensive end, it changed out of that timeout. You can see, and then once they hit that first one and got that first stop, they've really pushed on since then.
Yeah, absolutely. And, credit's got to go out to Williams Jr. as well. I mean, he's just not stopped fighting this entire game. You know, he's had a really great defensive passage, turned it around, and then he just finished his own three-point shot as well. So Southwest really finding the energy, finding the tenacity that they need to close this game out at exactly the right time. 2.5 minutes to go. It's not over, like we said in the women's game. Anything could happen, but 14 points to lead. Southwest in a commanding position.
Yeah, and just want to go back to Deshaun King, the import guard for the Spartans. It takes you a few games to adjust to how the referees are going to call the game here. It's different from the preseason as well. So, you understand in a new competition, in a new league against new players, you got to get used to how the game is called here, and he'll make the adjustments, I think, afterwards. But yeah, just like you say, when you're first taught, if you make a mistake or you're not happy about something, you can't dwell on it. You can't put your head down because it negatively impacts your team on either end, whichever end it is. King wanted the foul on one end, didn't get back defensively. His man hits a three.
Yeah, as Williams Jr. playing a very, very uptight defensive passage there on Phillip. Southwest getting the turnover.
There's a foul. I think that's the 15th foul. That's going to put Spartans in the penalty, I think. It's 2 shots. But again, you see Spartans calling a timeout, Regan, out of a timeout, turning the ball over. Those are little things that really frustrate you as a coach.
Yeah,
when you call a timeout and you draw something up, you try and get them a quick hit or whatever it is, and then the team turns it over. As a coach, those are the ones that make you pull your hair out.
It's tough as well, especially when Ben Volkman as well. That's his 5th personal foul, so he's out for the last 2.5 minutes. He's their captain. And like you said, John, it's really, really tough in those situations where I think the toughest thing is districts, they make a mistake or they fight a decision that the referees have made, again, for the 2nd time in a row. Phillip not happy that he didn't get a foul from Williams Jr. The whole team then slumped, didn't get back in defense, and then they fouled Williams Jr. again down the other end for those free throws. You can't play basketball like that. You've just got to suck it up and you've got to keep playing the whole way through.
Bairstow fouls Eustace. Pirates up with their 3rd team foul of the quarter. 2:06 to go in the game. You don't want to, if you're the Pirates, though, you want to try to avoid fouls. You do have 2 to give if you need them, so you're not going to give up any easy baskets, but you don't want to stop the clock either.
No, absolutely not. I mean, if anything, Southwest may want to get themselves 1 on the board just so that in the last couple of minutes, if they need to make that quick foul to put them to the line to stop the clock, but they don't want to give too many away too early. At the moment, they've still got a nice commanding 13-point lead with 1:40 to go. They'll waste down the clock now. They just need to play smart basketball. Same as what we said for the women, You're in front, play smart.
Huge block there by Magne as Spartans go back to that zone to try and get a couple stops. Phillip hit a 3 just before he goes for another one. That's off. 13 points, 1:15 to go. Spartans are going to try and force some turnovers here if they can. Bairstow floats it up. It's off.
King pushing the ball down fast now as Eustace looks to take the 3, kicks out to Phillip, gets it back at the top of the 3-point line. 3-point shot, no good.
And that's going to pretty much wrap things up, Regan. We're under a minute to go. It's a 12-point game. I think if one of those 3s fell, maybe Spartans would keep it going.
Yeah, you can tell Spartans knows that it's over now as well. They had a couple of really good opportunities. If they had sunk one of those 3s, might have been a different situation. But things really starting to wrap down now as Williams Jr. pinballs off Troy Thompson into Eustace.
Nice Euro step, but Greenwich can't finish. The Pirates are going to go 2-0 on this doubleheader as the women and the men are going to get great season opening wins. That's the way you want to start your season, Regan. I thought Pirates made the adjustments they needed to against that zone. They may see some more zone with the way they struggled at times against it here tonight. But I'm sure Coach Danner and the team will make the necessary adjustments. But a pretty solid overall performance if you're a Pirates fan. Spartans, I think, did some really nice things in the second half, but, gee, that first half really killed them, particularly that first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And, look, it's one of those situations where, same as what we said with the women's game as well, John, I mean, both teams, they ended up playing an outstanding game of basketball, but there's a lot of things that need to be changed. For Southwest, you need to have a third quarter. That is really what let them down. They came out with a 21-point lead after halftime. They let themselves go, we've got this, we've won, we're 21 points up, this is in the bag. No, they came out with a really sloppy third quarter, and that dragged into the fourth as well, and it gave Districts the opportunity to get themselves back in the game.
100%, Regan. That's exactly what, I'm looking at the breakdown of the game. The Spartans won this game if you take away the first quarter. So, like I said, both teams, good, a lot of positives, also some things that they're going to want to change up, but Pirates with the opening win. It was a good win for them, 79-70. And we'll see what Spartans do from here. They're not at full strength either. Pirates are missing a couple guys as well. So the teams are going to look different next time they match up.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's only round one. Teams don't read too much into what happens in the first round, because I can guarantee the next time Southwest versus Spartans, it is going to be a very different game of basketball, and who knows what's going to happen. But bringing it back home to what we've got tonight, we'll quickly run through some stats for you as well. Starting with the Southern District Spartans, look, credit where credit's due. I mean, a massive game out of Mitch Philp. I mean, he had an absolutely blinder, ending up on 20 points. Eustace finishing up on 15 as well, and Ben Volkman also getting himself into double digits on 12. Overall, having a very outstanding game. The big letdown for the Spartans, though, as we've said a couple of times, 24 turnovers. I mean, that's 10 too many, easily.
Yeah, and you're never going to win a game. I do want to point out Will Magny. I thought he had a good game. Didn't do much offensively, only 3 of 8, but he had 9 boards. He also had 3 assists and 5 blocks and 3 steals. So tried to pick up the slack there. You look at the Pirates scores on the live stats. They got Jared Bairstow with 22. I still question that, because Jake Allen definitely had more than 5
He was on 11,
points.
now he's on 5.
Yeah.
So there's something a little bit wrong going on there.
Something happened there, but overall it was a really well-balanced attack for the Pirates. They'd be really happy with how they played tonight. A great win for Southwest, and they have to back up tomorrow to take on a really talented Cairns team, which should be another great game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one big thing that Southwest needs to take away from this game as well is they got 29 points off turnovers. If they can continue capitalizing on the other team's mistakes, they're going to have an outstanding season, because they are taking every opportunity and converting it into a bucket. As you said, though, it's going to be a really interesting game of basketball tomorrow as well. Southwest obviously backing up for a doubleheader. Cairns, though, it's going to be their 3rd game straight after playing in Toowoomba last night and Ipswich tonight. Cairns is going to be a little bit tired. So it could be anyone's game, but that's going to be an absolutely huge matchup. And again, guys, don't forget to tune into that. We will be covering it live as well. So don't forget to tune in, because it's going to be another massive game tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have the Southwest Cairns doubleheader for you live tomorrow on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel. Want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's been great to be back on the microphone and to be bringing you QBL basketball live each and every week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be back again, John, after about 6 months out of it. It's always good to get back on and call these games for you. And we're going to have an incredible 2018 season as well, because things are only going to get better from here. We've got imports missing. We've got teams that aren't full. It's only going to go up, and I can't wait to see what the season brings. But thanks again to everyone for tuning in. I've been Regan Baker. As always, John Guana on the mic with me. And we'll see you again tomorrow on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel for some more live QBL action. We'll see you then.